Hi, I'm Chris Mertens, and I'm the Vice President of Sales for Samsung's Display Division.
And I'm John Curtis. I'm the Vice President of Sales for our mobile B2B organization.
And John, it's great to see you. It seems like it's been forever, and it's great to see you actually wearing pants versus what we see perhaps on the WebEx conferences that we've all been on.
And thank you for that introduction, Chris. But in all seriousness, I think this is the first time in a year I've worn a suit and I've been in the office. And you know what? It's really cool. So it's nice to, may there be many more. So we all know that enterprises and businesses have been impacted by the global pandemic, but they've quickly had to evolve into the way that they do business, but also more importantly, in the way that they manage their teams. We've worked with many partners and customers on our new solutions, and we want to share some more detail about exactly how Samsung can help these organizations to be successful as they navigate the future. So Chris, what do we have on the agenda for today?
Yeah, so let's have a conversation about what it's like working from home and the tools that are needed. Life for the remote worker, it's changed completely in coming into your home office. What conference room solutions look like going forward, and what is the future of the office? And how does everyone return back to the office?
Exactly, but let's start with working from home, Chris. I think we need to really think about what does that mean and what does it mean due to the pandemic. So many employees, as we all know, were sent home due to the pandemic, but that didn't start their remote working experience. It only expedited it. So we've looked at some recent studies and we found a couple of interesting facts. 67% of companies are actually now considering permanent work from home policies, and 86% of remote workers, which I was actually really interested in, are happy with their current working from home arrangements. So those two stats, they mean that businesses now must find a way to enable that collaboration when people are at home and also people are in the office.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. You know, when you think about working from home, the technology that's empowering the remote worker, for me, it starts with the display. Desktop monitors have helped remote workers be more productive and stay engaged with their teams. We at Samsung have seen an enormous spike in sales around the monitor business. And that starts with our smart monitor, a product we just introduced going back to late 2020. And it's really been an effective tool for the home worker, allowing them to balance their work and home life. And using that technology. It's also about having, a few, two or so monitors in the workplace, in your home workplace, replicating what you had in your corporate world. And so that allows for that environment to take place, and our Samsung wide screen curved displays are a perfect place for that. But also when we think about working from home, it's about seamless collaboration. In really enabling the employee. And we've got some great solutions around that, starting with our Samsung Flip 2, in the use of that in collaboration. We have an executive package that we announced that really focuses on the executive and that collaboration tool around that. And it's also about the interaction between that collaboration tool, our Samsung Flip 2, and our wide angle business monitor, and it's curved. So it's really something that looks great on your home office setup and enables the person to really be more effective from a business productivity standpoint.
Chris, you know what? I've used the Flip, and I do use it, and collaboration is so important. It's what we're missing in all of the tools and the video conferencing, et cetera, that we're doing. We've also talked about video conferencing there. So I'd like to pivot now to mobile devices and think about what does that mean from a mobility perspective. So having the right mobile device is now essential for the remote ready worker. But there's kind of two types of workers that I'd like to talk about. There's the home worker, and there's also the field worker, and the frontline worker. So 68% of home workers switch between their mobile phone and their laptop throughout the day to get what they need to get done. And therefore, they need the right device in order to enable that seamless collaboration, as you're talking about, but also that working efficiency. So the Galaxy S21 that we just launched a number of weeks ago is our newest flagship mobile phone. And this is designed specifically for epic collaboration in the modern workway. The device also has some of the best video capability in the marketplace in order to enable all of the video conferencing that we're talking about. But then let's pivot and let's talk about the remote worker and the frontline worker. Our rugged device portfolio, specifically, we just launched the Galaxy Tab Active 3. And that device has the DeX enablement that you were mentioning and we were talking about to give the collaboration of the desktop experience on the monitor. But it's also designed to help our frontline workers like retail, manufacturing, healthcare, and transportation to get their work done as efficiently as possible and to boost their productivity in the harshest of environments.
Yeah, you would think with all this technology we'd be working less, but in fact, the data suggests we're working more. And I've seen data that says anywhere from 10 minutes to 2 hours longer working remotely. So certainly the productivities are gained through our devices, our displays, and our mobile phones. So John, let's talk about conference room solutions. The video conference market has increased significantly since the start of the pandemic and is only growing as customers really begin to rethink their office environment. One survey found that half of the businesses plan on increasing their budgets for video applications, and 45% expect to invest in more collaboration applications. Our goal is to enable communications with teams from anywhere, anytime, fast and easily. And that really starts with our Cisco WebEx RoomKit Mini, which paired with the Samsung displays, businesses can really empower themselves with industry-leading video and audio conferencing features and a best-in-class display quality. Around that, the WebEx on Flip enables real-time multi-way whiteboarding. So think of two people or two different teams in different locations being able to collaborate together in real time. So the possibilities are endless around that, whether it's architects collaborating on a design and needing to have blueprints and see the detail and annotating what they need to have done and having that show up real time at the other architect's office. Think about the creativity that marketing firms can bring from anywhere using the whiteboard capability of this. We look at medical professionals and how they can weigh in with test results, not just around the country, but really globally on that, bringing in the right expertise that's out there.
Chris, thank you for that. But you know what's most important about what I think you're saying there is you're talking about the collaboration. That's the essence here about all of this, and that's what we need to bring forward as we start talking about the future of the office. So prior to the pandemic, we've all been talking so many times about what digital transformation would look like, but the pandemic has forced many businesses to accelerate that digital transformation by 10 years in the span of 10 months. So doing 10 years in 10 months. So one survey found that 85% of respondents said that their businesses have somewhat or greatly accelerated the implementation of technology that enables the employees to interact and collaborate. But what does the future look like? What we're really trying to say here is that we need to enable both working from home and working from the office, because neither party must feel disintermediated from what the other is doing or in any way isolated. So we need to think about how we're going to enable those employees that are going to stay at home and the employees who are going to be back in the office to keep going with the same efficiency and collaborate just as much.
That's great. And so John, as we think about where we go from here, businesses really want to defy expectations and make their employees and customers' experiences day-to-day immersive and better. So how do we make this personalized for the employees, whether it's at home or into the office? High definition, high quality monitors that are easy to use with collaboration displays. What do company meetings look like in the future? How do you do all hands calls out there? What do auditoriums look like with large immersive LED walls that we're beginning to see come into the work environment, into conference rooms, showrooms? The technology to integrate with existing infrastructure without requiring IT people to start the meeting is so important. We all have that corporate tax pre-pandemic that said it takes 10 minutes to start up and get going because you've got to put all of these devices together. So the mobile technology that can wirelessly pair with our displays and monitors, that's such a strong message to the marketplace. And it's really what Samsung's all about, forming that clear and strong connection between teams and customers by upscaling collaboration, taking it to a whole nother level. So we think about how to transform offices and what that looks like with a collaboration hub and a suite of team productivity solutions.
So what does the future of the office look like? And it's all about hybrid. So prior to the pandemic, we've spoken to so many people about what digital transformation would look like, but the pandemic has forced many businesses to accelerate their digital transformation by 10 years in the span of 10 months. So one survey has found that 85% of respondents have said their businesses have somewhat or greatly accelerated the implementation of technology to enable the interaction and collaboration. But what does that future look like? We absolutely have to protect the home worker and protect the office worker and ensure that both can interact and collaborate so that they can innovate and make their work as seamless as possible. We've talked about exactly how our mobile technology can do that, but also how all of your display solutions and brought together, how they can enable it much better.
Yeah, John, that's a great point. And we see customers, businesses that really want to defy expectations and make their employees and customers' day-to-day experiences better. And how do we do that? How do we take the personalization employees enjoy at home into the office, bring that into the office? Ultra high definition monitors and easy to use collaboration displays make that possible. If we think about it, what does company-wide meetings look like in the future? How do you do all hands calls? Auditorium-like settings that have large immersive LED walls. LED is becoming so important these days and is really completely immersive for the employee and customers alike. So that technology and that flexibility is critical. It's critical for the customer. It's critical for our employees. It's something that we want to bring to the market around that. So the technology really needs to integrate with existing infrastructure without requiring an IT person at the start of each meeting. We've all kind of seen that corporate tax at the beginning of a meeting that takes 10 minutes to get set up and start. That's 10 minutes we can no longer afford to spend. That's such lost productivity. So the mobile technology that can be wirelessly paired with our displays or monitors becomes really important in eliminating that corporate tax and really forming clear and strong connections between teams and customers by upscaling that collaboration. So how do we transform your office? How do we make that into a collaboration hub with a suite of team productivity solutions?
I think we've actually covered a lot today. So basically what we've talked about how we can enable the future working from home, how all of your solutions help that to be better, how the mobile solutions ensure that we can have ready workforce, but also home workers. But most important, I think we've touched on how mobile and display enables that collaboration so that we can bring our workers back into the office, but allow those that want to stay at home to stay at home, and nobody has any reduction in efficiency and innovation through that.
Yeah, in the next 9 months, I think everyone looks forward to that kind of return to the office and a return to normalcy, whatever that means as we go forward in 2021. Thanks, John. Appreciate all the time today. And thank you on behalf of John and I for attending this Samsung VX session.